Woman assaults critics. Election COI to reconvene next week. And Exxon audit to be completed soon. Hi, I'm Rico Belfort, and this is Uncut News. If you see news happening, send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. This morning, 28-year-old British citizen Olivia Renicia Basilio was fined $15,000 Guyana after pleading guilty to assaulting Michael Rodriguez, aka Guyanese critic. The alleged assault took place recently on Regent Street in Georgetown and was recorded on camera. Guyana's health ministry will work with PAHO to expand local data collecting and disease monitoring initiatives. Dr. Frank Anthony stated that a surveillance system would be established to collect data on the various forms of cancers, the number of patients, and their healthcare treatment and alternatives. There will also be a strong emphasis on chronic non-communicable diseases. Many Guyanese suffer from non-communicable diseases such as hypertension, heart disease, and diabetes, amongst others. There is an existing surveillance system that begins at the health post and feeds data into the health system. However, the minister has pointed out that many people do not seek medical help on a regular basis. As a result, many patients are not registered and no data is obtained. The GPHC racked up another fatality. The family of 45-year-old teacher Shanata Saw is accusing the hospital staff of causing Saw's death through their negligence. On Saturday, the woman's cousin, Valentina Ramatar, said Saw was admitted to the hospital on Wednesday for gallstone surgery, but ended up dead soon thereafter. She is now calling for a full inquiry into the matter. Saw will be cremated on Saturday, the same day she would have graduated from the Teachers College. Meanwhile, the hospital is yet to respond to the media about the fourth death of a female patient under questionable circumstances at their facility in less than 4 weeks' time. Hopefully, something will happen from this, as Ramatar is in fact the niece of former President Donald Ramatar. Last night, 28-year-old truck driver Leston Baines fatally stabbed his ex-girlfriend, 22-year-old schoolteacher Kelly Charlotte, at her home in Linden. According to the police, the man attacked her out of anger that she had left him and was moving on with her life. Baines is currently on the run. On International Men's Day, the government launched the President's Men on a Mission program. The program intends to help young men avoid societal issues such as drug use, domestic violence, gang violence, and other violent crimes. The goal is to give them advice and counseling, fitness activities, as well as economic empowerment through temporary work opportunities. You're a hard-working truck owner. That's why you need only quality parts for your truck. But you might be asking, Noriko, now how will I ever afford them? Well, my friend, you need to go to Powered Automotive. They stock parts from Mack, International, Bedford TM, and all models of Cummins engines. Treat your truck right. Visit them at lot 491 EE Eccles, or call or WhatsApp them on telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. You can multiply your cash by selling Digicel Top-Up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. The Commission of Inquiry into the 2020 elections, which was put on hold more than a week ago, is slated to start its work on November 28th and continue until the middle of December. Nevertheless, the COI is on schedule to be completed in January 2023, as originally stated. The police busted 26-year-old Lorenzo Shuran at the Metten-Meersburg Seawall Dam, West Coast Demerara, with over 824 grams of rock cocaine in his possession on Saturday. Shuran is currently in police custody. Last Thursday, cops in Berbice arrested 64-year-old taxi driver Stuart Hamer, 18-year-old Jeremiah Smith, and 42-year-old Damian Hines after county agents found 40 kilos, or $5 million, of cannabis in the back of a car parked along the Springlands public road in Berbice. According to the police, the car originally went unclaimed until Hamer later arrived at the police station, where he told the officers that it was his car, but the two men hired him to drive them. The three of them are currently in police custody. And in news from the region, on Sunday, Ilyan Golfan was elected president of the Inter-American Development Bank. Gold Fund was dominated by the administration of incumbent Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro and will enter office on December 19, 2022 for a 5-year term. As president, Gold Fund will oversee the bank's operations and administration, which works with Latin America's and the Caribbean's public sectors. He will also head the IDB's Board of Executive Directors and the Board of Executive Directors of the IDB Invest, which works with the region's private sector. The president also serves on the Donors Committee of the IDB Lab, the bank's laboratory for innovative development projects, whatever that means. Now for today's oil update. An American Guyanese audit group is approaching completion of an audit of about US $7.2 billion in ExxonMobil cost oil claims, with the group's director, Professor Floyd Haynes, stating that a preliminary report might be given to the government by mid-December. The audit of fiscal years 2018, 2019, and 2020 began in August of this year. According to Haynes, they are nearly finished with their fieldwork and will immediately begin drafting an interim draft report. The government is expected to review the draft report and give input once it is presented. Haynes also stated that ExxonMobil was totally forthcoming and willing to supply auditors with information upon request.
As an independent online news entity, being politically objective can cost you a lot of money in lost sponsorship opportunities. That's because most local companies are often too scared to associate themselves with a news entity that is uncompromising with the truth. We do appreciate our sponsors, as their support is what has allowed us to maintain our integrity without fear and remain dedicated to you, our viewers. Every night, thousands of viewers rely on Uncut News because they are tired of the biased and poorly presented mainstream media in Guyana. But to truly compete, we need your help to grow Uncut News from being the most watched online news to the most watched news in Guyana, period. Help us by becoming a monthly subscriber today. There are special rewards at every subscription level, including your name in the credits, personalized gifts, and more. Your monthly contribution helps us to stay independent by spending less time worrying about paying the bills and more time on keeping you informed. So click the link in the description of this video and become a subscriber today.
It's November, which means it's officially robbery season. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. These people even have drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest, now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's Car of the Week. Currently on sale is this 2016 Toyota Crown Athlete. It comes with Bluetooth mount rims, new tires, TV, CD, stereo fog lamps, back camera, and much, much more. Buy cars for $9.95 million, or pay as low as $1.99 million down with around $170,000 monthly, and it's yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info. Or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them the Rico sent you for this sweet deal. Now for our Uncut News Viewers Poll Question of the Day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. On Friday, I asked if 8% is enough of an increase for the public servants. Kwesi Sparman says, honestly, I feel sorry for public servants and other workers. Over the past year, cost of living has gone up more than 30%. Anyone can see that. So what are public servants going to do with the 8%? Still have to beg people to send money from overseas. The struggle is real, isn't it? Narayan Ramdat says, an increase in salary is important, but it must come gradually and not all at once. It may be bad for the employer and could put them out of order. Indeed, good point. Crazy Richie says, firstly, an annual increase is a good thing. However, to determine if the 8% is good, I would first like to understand what is the process to come up with that number. Lastly, they will always give a small amount because this allows them to give every year to keep citizens excited versus giving a big increase all at once. I think this is their strategy. And you know what, Crazy Richie? I think you are correct. And finally, Don Raj says it is not enough. 20% plus yearly increase is necessary. Indeed. Now for tonight's question. The president has his 1,000 men on a mission program to try to tackle the issues young men face in this nation. What are some other things you feel the government and private sector could be doing to help alleviate this situation? I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulfoot saying good night, folks.